There's no such thing as an empty gun. Keep that in your mind. When you see a firearm, it's not empty. I don't care. Let me tell you something. My son was taught from using the term early is an understatement. He was taught from when he could crawl that there is no such thing as an empty gun. If I had a gun, and we used to do this practice, my brother, me, my nephew, my wife, everybody would get in a row. I would pick up a handgun. There's no such thing as an empty gun, so therefore I have to open it to check it. So I'd open it, a revolver, and I'd make sure it was empty, and I'd check it, and I'd hand it to my brother. But there's no such thing as an empty gun. So he'd open it and check it and hand it to my wife, and there's no such thing as an empty gun. You follow? Do you know how many people are killed each year or hurt? Because, and I quote, I thought it was empty. Remember, there's no such thing as an empty gun. So there's no, and I can say this over and over and over and over again, there's no such thing as an empty gun. That means every firearm you pick up, or every firearm that's handed to you, make sure that it either is or isn't empty. And number two, never point a firearm at something you don't want to put a hole in. When I was a kid, my great-grandmother ended up getting a bullet in the back, a .22 bullet. It actually paralyzed her for a whole year because her son thought the gun was empty when he set it on the concrete floor and it fell over and went off. So if nothing else, you'll learn those two things from my show today. No such thing as an empty gun, and never point a gun at anything you don't want to put a hole in. So next week we'll do a little more on self-defense, and I hope I helped. I hope it was entertaining, and I hope you learned anything, because that's my job. I am the armchair survivalist, and this is what I've been tasked with performing, is to educate people in a certain way at a certain time. So this is Kurt, the Armchair Survivalist. You want to check out our site, se1.us/sale.html, or actually on se1.us, you go down and it says sale somewhere down. You click on that. You want a catalog, you want to place an order, talk about coconut oil, oregano oil, 800-753-1981, 1-800-753-1981. Keep your nose in the air and your ear to the ground and pay attention, because this is going to be interesting this week again. As I told you last week, Facebook fell flat on their face and would have buckled on their IPO opening Friday if the banks that underwrite them hadn't come in and bought all their shares. See you later.
They called me Al. It was Al all the time. Hey, don't you remember? I'm your pal, buddy, can you spare a dime?